Bulldogs to win this game. Number one, they have to stop the balanced running game. Stop West's balanced running game, and that will not be easy, as Frank alluded, that they have three outstanding running backs. Maintain composure, number two for Kenmore East. The Bulldogs have played well when they haven't lost their composure, taking themselves out of some games with bad penalties and dumb plays. And number three, of course, Campus, the player we talked about, has to have a big ball game, both receiving the football and especially running the football. He has to control the game for Kenmore East to win.
Right, and for Kenmore West, obviously a very big part of their defensive strategy will be to stop Sean Campus. Again, on offense, utilize what they've done well all year, and that is spread the ball around amongst the players that can do it on offense. And of course, one of the bigger keys to any football game is win the up front battles, the big battles with the lines, the offense and the defense. The big guys up front have to do their job. Well,
last year it was a blowout. In fact, the last 8 years have all belonged to Kenmore West in this series, Frank, as they've taken over the series lead, as we mentioned, 17-14 and 2 ties. Last year it was 46-21, Kenmore West winning easily and winning the last 8, so a lot on the line in this game.
No doubt about it, but the sky is blue here. The Blue Devils are being introduced. The field is perfect. Pat Oliver's team has done a great job in getting this ground all set for this game, and I think we're going to have a good one.
And New York, the Kenmore East Bulldogs coming in with a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, and 2 ties with playoff aspirations still hopeful. It's Karnowski, their starting center. Deichler, the left guard. DeLuca is the right guard. Roslin, the right tackle, and Gerbeck on the offensive line. Curcio is the starting quarterback. Campus and Bing, 2 outstanding running backs. Price, Wilcox, and Idziak are the receivers. On defense, the defensive line, Scott, Smith, Roslin, and Fanera. Up front, Campus, Bing, Firmuska, and Wilcox are your 4 linebackers as they play a 4-4. Idzak, Price, and Curcio, your defensive secondary. Kenmore West with McAdoo, Kelly, Stark, Bartek, and Dave Price with 1 touchdown. Idziak has 2 touchdowns. They go to Bing again with Campus leading, and he stood up at the 39-yard line. The Kenmore West to return the punt will be Lance Shotwell and Craig Dana. Shotwell is number 7. And there's a good look at Steve Wilcox, Frank, 6'2", 190-pound. He's a senior and a pretty big guy there for a punter. Scott Wilcox, that is. And Scott almost had it blocked by McGavero. They will let the ball bounce, and it will be down at the 36-yard line thereabouts. And Scott Wilcox did a good job to get that away, and McGavero just missed blocking that.
You bet your boots he did, as he was a left-handed booter and getting the ball high into the air. 26-yard punt. Not much distance on it as it bounced back upfield, but he sure did get a lot of height on it. And the return man did not even opt to try and catch the ball. They elected to let it fall, and it worked out to their advantage. And you'll see it here as you see the wide open hole. It was an excellent call there as they over pursued to the left side of the formation on defense. And Dana found a lane, and he just used his speed to outrush or outrace the defender to the end zone. A great call and an early touchdown in this first quarter.
And Dan Felsner in to try the extra point. It's a high snap. The kick is up. And the kick.
Record for 1993, 102 points scored and 68 points against. But this is the game right there. This is the game of their season right now. There you see the replay, and just too far out as the receiver was open.
Justin Curcio off the mark on that pass. 3rd down and 14 from the 21-yard line now. Curcio back to pass. The rush is on. He throws. He's got his man. It's caught. A good move inside, and down to the 7-yard line is Scott Wilcox. And he is close to the first down yardage.
Depends on the official spot of the ball. They were 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and they say he does have just enough for the first down. A well-thrown ball by Curcio, getting his first completion of the day. And the big receiver, Scott Wilcox, makes the play right there when he stops, jukes, and goes back up the other way and gets that additional 5 yards with that run.
Well, that little move there by Scott Wilcox against Lance Shotwell enabled Kenmore East to keep this drive alive and pick up the first down as Rod Gagliardi ended up making the stop. Here's Bing, and he's in for the touchdown. Bill Bing. And that was, I'll tell you, that was one terrific drive. When you give up an early touchdown like that, Frank, and it's demoralizing, and you come right back and stick it right down the field.
Well, Bing has done a lot of work on this drive. He was held to 4 again, and he's just has a nose for the right place to go to. And you see that one of the players reached up and grabbed him and spun him around a little bit by the helmet. And that's using the face mask illegally, and they'll mark the penalty 15 yards upfield. So this drive start will be all the way deep into Kenny's territory at the Kenny's 36-yard line.
We might see a lot of points in this contest the way it started off. 5:50 to go in the first quarter, and already we've had 14 points. Each team has scored a touchdown and a conversion. It's a 7-all tie. It is Craig Dana and not Joe Sardinia lining up for this snap from center at quarterback. Apparently they'll rotate them both. Sardinia is the passing quarterback. And here's a rush to the left side for Chuck Root, the tailback, and Chuck Root with a small gain on the play. A gain of nearly 3 yards. Official timeout now.
Injured player on the field for Ken East, and he will have to be attended to as the team trainers come from across the field. A 3-yard pickup there for Chuck Root, his first carry of the game. Again, a very balanced offensive attack for Kenmore West. That has been their trademark this year. And their ability to use all of those players and get good production out of each of the players out of the backfield, McGavero, Root, and Dana, has been very effective. Unfortunately, they had to forfeit a couple of games due to a clerical mistake, and that's just the way it goes sometimes.
That looks like it's Scott Wilcox, number 85, and they have their names on the back too, which is nice. You can identify the players a little quicker that way.
He's holding his right arm, or right wrist, as you said, and hopefully he'll be able to return. He's their tight end, and also on the defensive side of the ball, he's getting a lot of playing time at the right defensive end position.
So he's the player that caught that first down pass down to the 6-yard line, kept that drive alive, and then Bing scored a play later. We have not seen that much defense in this game so far. Craig Dana, the quarterback, he stays in there. He's got a Mike Roslin, the right tackle. Bob Daschler, the left guard, and Scott Gerbeck, the left tackle. They're not an overly big line. Gerbeck's 223 pounds and 6'2". All of the other 4 players, except for Roslin, are under 200 pounds. Roslin's 200 pounds, but they're making some huge holes. Gertziel's pass caught. Wilcox, first down. Finally dragged down by Shotwell, but not until he got inside the 35 to the 34-yard line of Penn West.
21 yards on the reception for Wilcox. That's the second time that they've been able to find him. Curcio gets his second completion of the afternoon. And boy, credit to Scott Wilcox coming back in. He had that injured wrist.
And he has 9 catches now, 10 on the year.
And Curcio starting to heat it up. That's 3 in a row for him. And a 6-yard gain, it looks like, for David Idzik on the first catch for the afternoon for him. 2 good tight ends, and Wilcox and Idzik. In fact, both players have good size. Idzik at 6'3", 190, and Wilcox is 6'2", 190.
Now Wilcox grew a little bit. He's a 6'4" player.
And I was reading it off the roster.
Idzik 6'4". Okay, we'll correct that. There's a running play to Bing is stopped right near the line of scrimmage. In fact, he lost a little yardage on the play. It would be 4th down.
That was a 3rd down carry, looking for the first down. Now 4th down, and no gain, it looks like, the way they finally spot his forward progress.
Loss of a yard back to the 29.
Yeah, they'll probably go for it in this situation at the 29-yard line.
I would think so, and again, Curcio has hit his last 3 passes, 2 to Idzik, or 2 to Wilcox, and 1 to Idzik.
Ken Maurice is going to call timeout to talk about this. Hey, coaching staff in the shorts, such a nice day.
Jerry Brown and Charles Dingboom are the assistants for Bob Voss and for Jerry Tutwiler. The assistants are Ken Sherry, Rich Harris, Matt Chimera, Larry Schmidt, Mike Chrisman, Paul Damian, Lou Reuter, and Bob Howell. What a coaching staff, a lot of guys there.
Rob Voss now in his 6th season, the head coach.
If you take a look at, we get a shot maybe later in the game of the Blue Devils helmets. They have a red ribbon on the back of their helmets, and it's part of the Red Ribbon Week here in Kenmore, October 23rd through the 31st, and it's the red ribbons in support of the war against drugs. As you look at Campus, we'll talk about him.
Sean Campus, the running back. Sean Campus does a lot of things, but his biggest asset is reading his blocks. He reads them very well.
I just feel like I just use my blocks, and I've got a good supporting cast with my linemen and my running backs and my receivers, so I give them a lot of credit.
And Frank, that was Sean Campus explaining how he reads the blocks very well. And you were talking about the red ribbon. It's against alcohol and drug use.
Yeah, there is a week-long program here in Kenmore, and the players are in full support. 4th down play.
And the quarterback throws. It's incomplete. The ball will go over on downs as Curcio could not connect on that 4th down play. And 5 for the first down. So
first down, but more importantly, they're chewing up the clock here in this first half, and maybe going to get some points out of it as well.
2nd down and 4 yards. A fake to Campus. Wilcox is wide open. Touchdown.
What a great call.
Beautiful play. Justin Curcio put it right on the money, and Scott Wilcox has his third touchdown pass this season. And they set that up with the run, Frank. They baited him with the run, and then they threw the pass play, and a touchdown developed.
Well, 17 yards, and it's a beautiful pass as Wilcox had single coverage to that side. A good call as he faked in and then took the pass route to the outside corner. The ball was pretty well thrown by Justin Curcio. And with 6:28 to go, they take the lead.
And here's the try for the extra point. Mike Rachel's kick is up, a line drive kick, and it's good. And another example of the extra points in the field goal kicking. We said it has improved so much at the high school level.
So the replay of it caps a 74-yard drive. Half a dozen or so plays on the drive, and they start from their own 26-yard line, and they put points on the board. And this Kenmore East team is playing some tough football here this afternoon.
Well,
a very nice offensive flow.
A lot to play for. They could secure a playoff spot if they win and Williamsville South loses to Maryville in their last game. They could break their 8-game losing streak against Bounds. And a running play to Root.
Oh, what a block.
Root does not get there.
Close.
He managed a couple of yards as he got down near the 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 7 for Kenmore West just blasted Wilcox. Lance Shotwell, 5'10", 180-pound senior on the rollout. Just watch as you see Wilcox go spinning to the turf. I don't know if he really picked it up on the play, Root carrying the ball further upfield. But Shotwell had a blind side, took just about a minute and 30 seconds off the clock, so they went a long, long way in a hurry.
They're thinking 2 here. They're going to go for 2 because they're down by 11 points. They're thinking win first. Curcio with Campus in front of him blocking, throws, and what a catch! Wilcox caught the ball. That's an outstanding catch.
Ooh, yeah. You like that.
That was a tremendous catch by Wilcox. As that ball was sailing high and away from him, somehow he batted the ball up in the air and then grabbed it with his other arm into his body.
That's a tremendous play. Absolutely a tremendous play, and it could be a factor later in the game.
No doubt. It's down to a 9-point game, and maybe we spoke a little bit too hastily about this being over with that 17-point lead as you look at the Kenmore East sideline, 31-22, Kenmore West in the third quarter, and really in a game where Kenmore East on paper has outplayed Ken West except for that last.
I think the same player as the interceptor on the other play to end the first half was looking for another one here. And he went for the pick and didn't get there quite in time, had to try and make an arm tackle, couldn't do it. Well, third down at about 6, so they get back about 8 yards on that reception by Sean Campus.
Well, they moved down the field quite quickly, though. They're at the 44-yard line of Kenmore West.
They were aided by an interference penalty.
And well, of the football, that looked like a certain reception.
Well, it was thrown to the inside of the field, near where the pursuit was coming as a defender, and again, if it had been thrown to the outside, it would have been a relatively easy interception. As it was, Wilcox almost came up with it. Let's look at it again as you'll see the ball float down there and contact as the ball got to the receiver. So Shotwell has been a little bit of a force, in fact, a pretty good force. He has made some big hits at the offensive blocking and a couple of good tackles.
Well, here's the game right here. If they have any hope at all with 9:36 to go, they need to convert here on 4th down and 6 yards for a first down. Curcio back to pass, throws, and it is caught.
He's got it.
It's caught by Wilcox, and there he goes. 20, 10, they will not catch him. A touchdown.
Flag down on the play, though.
And a flag down at the 41-yard line.
2 flags down, and they are pointing at the line of scrimmage. Unknown if the play will come back or not. It would have been a 44-yard touchdown on 4th and 6.
It's a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. It must be coming after the play. Personal foul after the play.
Hey, we might look for the onside kick then, but there's still a bunch of time here. This is becoming a fun game. 9:25 to go, and I know all our fans are enjoying it as much as we are.
Well, how do you figure his concentration there, Wilcox? The ball thrown and the intended the pass coverage on the play. The player for Ken East went for the interception.
That's 2 touchdowns for Wilcox here.
Well,
that's 4 on the season.
It's just amazing. This is an amazing game. I cannot keep up with the paperwork. And you know how good I am with paperwork.
You're great at paperwork.
And they're going to force them back now because it was a dead ball foul after the touchdown was scored against the Kenmore East player.
Well, that's not good because now they're going to have to go for 2 from the 17-yard line. This is where you have to do it the old-fashioned way. You have to earn it. for this two-point conversion.
Look at that. Juggle, juggle, juggle. And off to the races down the right sideline he goes. And he sprints and strides. Look at them strides into the end zone.
You do that well.
What's that?
Yeah, on that Empire High School highlights.
No.
They're going to try for two.